Alex, an adventurous backpacker, is exploring a vibrant city in South America. The streets are alive with the sounds of music and laughter, and the colorful lights create an enchanting atmosphere. One night, as he makes his way back to the hostel, he takes a shortcut through a dimly lit alley, thinking it would save him time. But then, he notices two figures emerging from the shadows. At first, they seem harmless, just fellow travelers, he thinks. Suddenly, one of them pulls out a knife, the blade glinting ominously in the faint light. "Give me your wallet," he demands, his voice low and threatening. Fear grips Alex. His heart races as he realizes the gravity of the situation. Frozen in panic, he reluctantly hands over his wallet, his hands shaking. Just as the thieves turn to flee, a local passerby notices the scene unfolding. He shouts at them, causing them to hesitate. In that brief moment, Alex finds his courage and shouts, "Help! They're robbing me!" The commotion draws the attention of nearby pedestrians, and the robbers panic. They drop the wallet and sprint away into the night. Shaken but unharmed, Alex learns a valuable lesson that night. Always be aware of your surroundings, especially in unfamiliar places. Next, we have a jaw-dropping wildlife encounter that could have turned deadly. Rachel, an avid hiker, sets out on a beautiful sunny day to explore a national park in Canada. The sun filters through the trees, and the air is crisp. She's on a mission to capture the stunning scenery with her camera. As she climbs higher, she stumbles upon a small bear cub playing by a stream. Excited, Rachel instinctively reaches for her camera, thinking, "What an amazing shot." But in her excitement, she forgets the cardinal rule of the wild: never get between a mother and her cub. Suddenly, out of the bushes, a massive mother bear emerges, towering over Rachel and growling fiercely. Her heart drops as panic floods her senses. Remembering her bear safety training, she knows she must stay calm. She slowly backs away, avoiding eye contact, praying that the bear doesn't see her as a threat. The mother bear snorts, her gaze piercing. Time seems to freeze as Rachel takes cautious steps back, her heart pounding in her chest. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, the bear relaxes and turns back to her cub. Rachel breathes a sigh of relief, grateful for her instincts. She realizes that nature is unpredictable, and that respect for wildlife is paramount. It was a close call, and one she would never forget. Now let's dive into a story that involves a serious cultural misunderstanding with intense consequences. Tom, an eager traveler, finds himself in a small village in India during wedding season. The streets are filled with vibrant colors, music, and the smell of delicious food. When he receives an invitation to a local wedding, he feels honored. Excited to participate in the festivities, he dons a colorful kurta and heads to the celebration. As he arrives, the atmosphere is electric. Dancers twirl, and laughter fills the air. However, as the ceremony begins, Tom is swept up in the excitement and forgets about the rules surrounding the sacred rituals. Without thinking, he steps into a restricted area, eager to get a better view of the bride and groom. Suddenly, the music stops. The joyous faces turn to expressions of shock and anger. The elders of the village approach him, their faces stern. Tom's heart races as he realizes the gravity of his mistake. He has disrespected their traditions. Just when it seems like he might be thrown out, a kind villager steps forward, explaining the situation to the elders. Tom bows his head in apology, feeling embarrassed. The tension breaks as the villagers see his genuine remorse. They invite him back into the celebration, and after a brief explanation of the customs, he is welcomed to join. This experience teaches him the importance of understanding and respecting local traditions, no matter where you are in the world. Next, we have a cautionary tale about the dangers of scams while traveling. Lisa arrives in a picturesque city, eager to explore its famous landmarks. After a long flight, she decides to take a taxi to her hotel. As she steps into the cab, the driver greets her with a smile and a friendly demeanor. However, as they drive, he suggests a scenic route, promising breathtaking views. Tired but curious, Lisa agrees. But what starts as a pleasant ride quickly turns into a nightmare. The driver takes her through winding roads, far from her intended destination. When they finally arrive, Lisa is shocked to see the fare. It's 10 times what she expected. Confused and frustrated, she tries to argue, but the driver remains firm, refusing to budge. Feeling trapped and vulnerable, Lisa realizes she's been scammed. She pays the inflated fare, vowing to be more cautious in the future. This experience teaches her to always confirm prices up front and to use trusted taxi services. Let's shift gears and talk about unpredictable weather that can catch anyone off guard. Emma is soaking up the sun on a beautiful Caribbean island, blissfully unaware of the brewing storm in the distance. She hears whispers about an approaching hurricane but brushes them off, thinking it's too far away to affect her vacation. The skies turn ominous as dark clouds roll in, but she decides to enjoy her day at the beach. Suddenly the wind picks up and rain begins to pour. Panic sets in as the hotel staff rush to secure the property. Emma and her friends sprint back to the resort, but the storm escalates quickly. The winds howl like a freight train, and the rain lashes against the windows. They seek shelter in the hotel lobby, where guests huddle together, fear etched on their faces. Hours pass, and the hurricane rages on, causing chaos all around. Finally, as dawn breaks, they emerge to a changed landscape. Trees uprooted, debris scattered. Though shaken, Emma realizes the importance of heeding warnings and staying informed. Now, we delve into a tale that sounds like a Hollywood blockbuster, an encounter with pirates. Mark and his friends embark on a sailing trip through the stunning waters of Southeast Asia, excited for adventure and exploration. The sun glistens on the waves, and they sail from island to island, enjoying the breathtaking scenery. One fateful day, as they navigate a remote stretch of ocean, a small boat appears on the horizon. Initially, they think nothing of it, just another fishing boat. But as it approaches, their hearts sink. Masked men brandishing weapons jump onto their boat, shouting demands. In a panic, Mark and his friends scramble for safety. They know they must act fast. In a split-second decision, they throw their valuables overboard, hoping to protect themselves. The pirates grow agitated, searching for anything of value. Mark remembers the emergency flare gun on board and discreetly reaches for it. With a surge of adrenaline, he fires a flare into the sky, signaling for help. The commotion attracts nearby fishing boats, and as they draw closer, the pirates realize they're outnumbered. They flee, leaving Mark and his friends shaken but unharmed. Now, let's explore the challenges of language barriers that can lead to unexpected surprises. While traveling in Thailand, Sam is determined to immerse himself in the local culture. He finds a bustling street market filled with mouth-watering dishes and vibrant stalls. Eager to try something exotic, he approaches a vendor and points to a dish that looks intriguing, but he has no idea what it is. When the steaming plate arrives, his excitement turns to horror as he sees it's topped with an array of insects. His friends burst into laughter and Sam's face turns beet red. What did I just order? He wonders. Determined not to waste food, he takes a deep breath and digs in. The flavors are unlike anything he's ever tasted, and despite the initial shock, he finds himself enjoying the dish, albeit with a few grimaces. Sam learns to embrace the unexpected, realizing that food can tell a story of its own. This experience becomes one of his favorite travel memories, reminding him to always be open to new experiences, even when they seem daunting. Here's another story about miscommunication that led to unexpected outcomes. While visiting Japan, Mike receives an invitation to a local festival. The streets are adorned with colorful lanterns, and the atmosphere is filled with excitement. However, when he shows up, he realizes he's vastly underdressed compared to everyone else who are wearing beautiful traditional kimonos. Feeling out of place, Mike's anxiety builds. The locals initially stare, and he feels a wave of embarrassment wash over him. But rather than fleeing, he decides to embrace the moment. As he awkwardly navigates the crowd, a kind local notices his discomfort and offers to help. With a warm smile, she takes him to a nearby shop where he can rent a kimono. Once dressed in the vibrant fabric, he returns to the festival, and the locals welcome him with open arms. Laughter fills the air as he participates in traditional dances, forming connections that transcend language and culture. Mike realizes that stepping out of his comfort zone can lead to the most rewarding experiences. What started as a potential disaster turns into a cherished memory reminding him of the beauty of cultural exchange. Let's talk about the risks of staying with strangers and what can go wrong. During her travels in Europe, Sarah decides to try couch surfing to connect with locals. She finds a host with rave reviews and is excited about her stay. However, when she arrives at his apartment, the atmosphere feels off. At first, he seems friendly, offering her a drink and chatting about the city. But as the night progresses, his behavior takes a turn. He starts making inappropriate comments, making her feel increasingly uncomfortable. Her instincts kick in, and Sarah knows she needs to leave. She feigns tiredness and excuses herself, packing her bags in a hurry. Her heart races as she plans her escape, fearful of what might happen if she stays. Once she's outside, she takes a deep breath of fresh air, grateful to have trusted her instincts. She finds a nearby hostel and checks in, feeling safe again. This experience teaches her to be cautious and trust her gut when it comes to staying with strangers. And there you have some of the craziest and most thrilling stories from travelers who faced unexpected challenges on their journeys. Have you had any wild experiences while traveling? Share your stories in the comments below.